the days you can get outside again. And obviously, as a day like today, we're all looking forward to the lovely weather that's ahead of us for spring. And so we'll be joined by Meg Stickl, who's owner of AIM Fitness, and as some of you know, who come regularly for her sessions on a monthly basis. Meg will be joining us just shortly, and I'll be turning it over to her. Veuillez noter que le webinaire sera présenté en anglais, mais la participation bilingue est toujours encouragée. And we would encourage you to put your questions in the chat box in either English or French, and we'll make sure that we can do those Q&As at the end of the session. I want to give a special welcome to anybody here today who's not yet a member of the association. We hope that these webinars will inspire you to join us. And to our members, we hope that these webinars will encourage you to maintain your membership with us. To learn more about giving the gift of membership, please click the link in the chat box to access the National Association website. On the association website, you'll also get all the information about future webinars that are up and coming. It's right now posted in the chat box for you to see. After today's webinar, the Ottawa branch will send you an email with instructions on how to access the presentation slides or the recording of the webinar, and how to join the association or give the gift of membership. Remember that you can always invite non-members to register for our webinars as guests and try us out for free. I also want to encourage you to fill out the surveys that we send out after each webinar. This is allowing us to get a better sense of what you as members and as you, the membership, would like to see on a regular basis from Ottawa branch. And so my pitch to you is when you get those emails, please fill those evaluations in and send them in. We're using that data actively to provide and prepare for our work plans next year. There will be a Q&A at the end, as I've said before, and we'll be monitoring those questions and giving them back to Meg to respond. So Meg, over to you, and let's begin our day.
All right. Okay, so we are ready to go. Thanks everybody for joining in our webinar for golfers and gardeners. So if you are someone who is really excited about spring and you have some activities that are coming up, this is going to be a really good workout that we're going to be focusing on full body mobility and strength. So we are going to be using some weights today. Now I've got my 5-pound weights, but whatever you have handy, even if you just have some canned goods or a water bottle, that works well, really well too. And then you'll also notice that I have my handy dandy stick. So if you have something lying around the house, even a cane, or even if you have a broom handle, something like that works too. So we're going to really focus on some good warm-ups and mobility together. All right, so let's get started. Before we do, last thing I want to mention is I am running a 5-day fitness challenge for golfers and gardeners. And this is coming up at the end of the month, the end of April. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of our session today. And then we're also going to be doing some Q&A. So if you have a question, leave it in the chat box, and I'll be sure to get to that at the end. All right, so let's stand up. Now you'll want to make sure you have lots of space around you. Have a chair handy for a little bit later. But we're going to start with our side step. So we're going to swing those arms. Now, as you do so, bring those shoulders back, standing nice and tall, swinging those arms. All right. Good. Now, it's quite a dreary, rainy day today, but it doesn't mean we can't have fun and we can't have a good workout. So I really encourage you to think about the movements that you're doing. And as you are taking steps, reaching, twisting, also listen to your limits. If your body is telling you to slow down or not to do a certain movement, then please listen. All right, good. Now from here, we're going to be tapping your foot right in front of the other foot. Okay, continuing to reach to the side. Okay, breathing in, breathing out. All right, that's great. Now we'll take those arms a little bit higher. So reaching up overhead. All right, good. Okay, so we're going to be doing lots of twisting and leaning motions, all replicating a lot of those movements that you would do, whether you're on the golf course or whether you're in the garden. All right, good. Let's do 3 more of these. 2 and 1. All right, from here, we're going to march it out. Let's lift those knees, pump those arms at your side. Good. All right, again, we want to watch that our shoulders are back, standing nice and tall. Show you from the side. Lift those knees a little bit higher if you can. All right, and I encourage you to breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Good. Now we'll change those arms. We're going to reach with your opposite arm, opposite knee. There we go. All right, good. Keeping that spine and back nice and straight. Now, anytime we do the opposite arm, opposite leg, we do work a different part of the brain. So that is really, really good. Okay. Now we'll change those arms. This time reach up overhead, still doing the opposite. All right, nicely done. Good, let's do 5 more per side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, from here, we're going to kick those legs back behind you, bending at the knee. Keep those knees pointing down towards the floor. And at the same time, we're going to circle the shoulders back. All right, good. So one of my tips to have a really active and safe spring and doing the activities you love is to start out with a warm-up. So doing just something like we're doing together, any movement, even a light walk, some reaching, some stretching before you head out to do that activity. And when you do that, it can help to prevent injury and stiffness and soreness. And I know many people who've talked about getting back into their spring activities and just noticing that the day after they have been in excruciating pain, or they pulled a muscle, or they were just really stiff and couldn't do much for the next few days. So just remember, getting prepared now in advance is really important, just so that you can enjoy your days and you don't have to take a day off because you're too tired or too stiff. All right, from here, we're going to be pressing the heel into the floor. So stretching into the back of the leg, we're going to reach and squeeze the shoulder blades back. So tap and squeeze. So focus on a straight leg, lift that toe towards the ceiling. All right, good. Now the back of our legs tend to get quite sore and also tend to get pretty tight. Maybe you already noticed this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be focusing a little bit more on the back of the leg. So I want you to take one leg in front. The back knee will be bent. You can hold on to a chair for balance, and we're going to be leaning over, reaching towards the toe and then straightening up. So here we go, leaning towards that foot and straightening up nice and tall. Now you don't actually have to touch the toe, don't worry. Just go as close as you can, whatever feels comfortable. And like I said, if you're feeling a little off balance with this one, just pull up that chair. You can hold on with one hand. All right, so we're going a little bit deeper into this stretch. So feeling this right up the back of the leg. All right, now you may also feel this in your back too. It's good. All right, let's continue reaching. Good, let's do 4 more here. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, good. Let's walk that out and then we'll switch sides in just a sec. All right, let's take that other leg in front, heel to the floor, point the toe up. And here we go. We're going to be hinging at your hips and then rising up tall. Hinge and reach, keeping that leg straight. Good. Now add that squeeze, that elbow squeeze, working on our posture as well. This will help to relieve any back stiffness. All right. Now it's normal to feel one side a little bit more flexible than the other. So you can note, probably at this point, you notice which side is a little more stiff. All right. Very good. Let's do a few more here. All right, just a few more. Let's do 4. And 3. You might feel like you can go a little further. 2. And 1. Ooh, all right, so let's walk that out. Notice how those legs are feeling after that one. Very good. All right. So from here, we're going to be moving into a few stretches specifically for the golfers who are watching today. So grab, if you have a golf club, or if you have that some kind of broom handle, whatever you have around the house that works. You can also grab a resistance band, just something to hold on to, anything around. A blanket would work too. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take your legs, your feet about as wide as your shoulders, and we're going to start with a rotation. So twisting at your waist, side to side. All right, good. So focus on that breathing. Now keep those arms low, hands are low. Try not to hold on for dear life. That can lead to some pain in your hands. So just have a nice relaxed grip. All right. Now, right now, one-on-one, I'm working with a client, and she just turned 81 recently, and she is an avid golfer. And last year, she broke her shoulder, and through rehab and then through working with me, her arm is 100% better. It's pretty amazing how good it is. But right now in our work together, we're focusing on her upper body strength and getting her ready to go out onto the golf course. She had to take last season off. So it's pretty amazing. I've personally seen someone be able to recover from a broken arm at the age of 80. So, you know, there is hope for all of us if that's the case. But what it does require is it requires regular exercise. So I do encourage you to do this video again, or to make a few notes on these movements that you think could be part of your daily routine. All right, let's do 3 more here. You might notice you can go a little further each time. And 2. And 1. All right, let's bring those arms right in front, and we're going to be reaching up overhead. Good. And then lower the, whatever you're holding on, lower it in front of you. So reaching all the way up and lower down. So this is really a good one for your shoulders. For this one, I do recommend having your hands a little bit wider. Okay, good. Breathing in and out. All right, good. Feel those arms working here. Now just work within your limits. If you can only go halfway, or one of your shoulders isn't as happy with this one, just work at your own pace. All right, good. A few more here. Let's do 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. All right, very good. Now from here, to again take the legs a little wider, we're going to be doing a figure 8. So lifting your outside arm nice and high as you figure 8 around. All right, so again, working into the shoulders, working into the arms, and rotating slightly at your hips. All right. Very good. Even though the object you're holding on to might not be that heavy, you'll still feel like you're working. You are working hard. All right, good. So lifting the outer arm, outer hand a little higher. Good work. Let's keep going for 4. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, excellent, excellent. So we're going to do one more here. This time we're going to be holding on with your palms facing the front of the room, and we're going to be doing a bicep curl. So we're going to be lifting up to your shoulders and then lower down. Now, option number 1 is this, doing our bicep curl, standing tall. Those of you who want to work your legs at the same time, we're going to be moving into a squat. So you can take your legs a little bit wider. And what we'll do here is we're going to do a curl, and then with straight arms, bend the knees into a squat. All right, so 1, curl and squat down. Working at your own pace. Now, those of you who might not be so familiar or comfortable with the squat, I'll show you, keep going, but I'll show you the option with the chair. Okay, so you can also do this one sitting down on the chair, rising up, curling. Sitting down on the chair, rising up and curling those arms. Okay, so that's your other option. All right, let's do a few more here. Let's do 4 and 3, 2 and 1. All right, nicely done. So let's set that to the side. Excellent. It's great. Now, if you do have some water, have a quick sip of water. It's good to stay hydrated, and especially when you're thinking about exercising and outdoor activities, always make sure you have a water bottle with you because it's important to stay hydrated. Okay, excellent. So from here, we're going to grab one of your weights. So whether you're in the garden, whether you're doing other activities, something that often we do is we need to do this type of motion. We need to lean down to reach for something. So we're going to be doing some lunges at this point. All right, just a sec. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate 2 different options for lunges. For those of you with knees that are not very happy, or maybe they're a little more stiff today, you'll like option 1. So option 1 is standing with one foot right in front of the other. You can place your hand on your hip, and we're simply going to be bending your knees and take those hips back. So we're hinging at the hips, leaning forward slightly. Okay, so this is option 1 for those of you with a knee replacement or with knees that are speaking to you today. Option 2 is to take your feet a little further away. Your front foot is going to be facing the front of the room, and then you're going to lift your back heel. Keep your shoulders back, and you're simply going to be bending those knees. Okay, so we want our back knee to be pointing down towards the floor as we, or to come parallel with the floor, I should say. All right, so you can choose your option. This is option number 2, or you can join me with option number 1, one foot in front of the other. All right, so I do like to hold on to the chair for this one. So that way you don't have to worry about losing your balance. You can really focus on the movement that you're doing. But what we'll do here is we will add one arm if you have an arm available. Just imagine you're reaching for something. All right, so bending those knees, leaning slightly and reaching. All right, very good. So you should feel this in the front of the legs, back of the legs, just about everywhere. All right, let's do a few more here. All right, very good. Let's do 4 more. and 3, 2, and 1. All right, good. So we're going to do the same thing with the opposite leg. So you can choose to do one foot in front of the other or take the other leg back, making sure the heel is up. All right, so lunging on the other side. Option number 2, or feet together, option number 1. And you can keep your hand here on your hip, or I encourage you to change hands, reaching with the other arm. All right. We tend to have a stronger side. So that means often we lean over on the same side. We reach with the same arm all the time. So it's good to work the other side, even if it doesn't feel as natural. Breathing in and out. All right, at this point, you may feel your legs burning. Let's do some more. Doing great. Let's do 4. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, awesome. Let's walk that out. Woo! So lift those knees. We're going to swing those arms, stretching it out. All right, excellent. All right, very good. So we're going to give the legs a bit of a break. We're going to be moving to our arms next. And let's grab, you're going to need 1 or 2 weights. Actually, two weights. Like I said, if you don't have weights, grab something else that's handy. All right, we're going to be moving to our bicep curl. So I invite you to stand nice and tall. Hold on to those weights right at your side. Palms are facing the front of the room. And option number 1 is a bicep curl, 1 arm at a time. So what we're doing here, I'll show you from the side. We're bending your elbow, we're lifting the weight up to your shoulder and lowering it down nice and slow. All right, now option number 2 is to do both arms together. Double arms. All right, so if you are thinking about planting, we know that soil is heavy. We know that flowers can be heavy. There's a lot that needs to be lifted and moved. So to have strong arms is really important, and it can help the job become easier. All right. Very good. Now, those of you who are wanting a bit of an extra challenge, what you can do is add 1 leg lift at a time. So lift the knee. Now, if you're doing 1 arm at a time, you can do the opposite arm, opposite leg. All right, but quite often what happens is we are lifting things and having to move at the same time. Maybe emptying out on the back of your vehicle, unloading a wheelbarrow. All right, good. Let's do a few more of these. Feeling this in the front of the arms. 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, awesome work. That's great. So for the next one, we're going to be having those weights right together, right in front of you. Now you can use both weights. If you want to use both weights, you can hold them together like this, or you can hold on to 1 weight. And what we'll do is we're going to do a row, and we're going to be adding something for your feet as well. So we're going to start with a row. We're going to lift your elbows nice and high, and then lower the weight right in front of you with straight arms. So elbows are high. Lift your weight right up towards your chin, or as high as you can go. All right, and down. So this is a really good one for your shoulders. Like I said, you can do this with 2 weights if you prefer. All right, so let's focus on our legs as well. So what we'll do is we'll do our row, Lifting the weight. When your arms are straight down, we'll do our heel raise, lifting your heels from the floor. So row into the heel raise. Breathing in and out. All right, awesome work. Okay, so we're focusing on the back of the legs, the calf muscles, and this is definitely a part of our body that can get tight, and it's important to have strong legs for walking. So those of you who love to hike, also important. All right, good. Let's do a few more here. 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, and 1. 1. All right, awesome. So let's grab your second weight. All right, so this time we're going to be focusing on a different movement. We're going to think about lifting bags, lifting something, and using those shoulders and our arm strength. All right, so one arm at a time is option number 1, lifting up. Now, if you have osteoporosis or if you have any back pain, anything that's bothering you, then just continue with this movement. Option number 2 is to add a little bit of a side bend. Side bend, leaning to the side and then lifting. All right. So from the side, I'll show you. So just watch, you don't want to round your back. Keep your back nice and straight. We're leaning to the side. Working the side body muscles called the obliques. And these muscles help us when we're twisting and when we're lifting. All right, good. And just watch that your wrist stays straight. So try not to bend your elbow or your wrist, but keep it straight as you're holding onto the weight. All right, good. You can continue leaning or just lift for a few more. Breathing in and out. All right, can you feel those shoulders working? Oh yeah, this is a good one. This will help you out this spring. Let's do 4 per side, and 3, and 2, and 1. All right, good. Let's set the weights down for just a sec. And we're going to be walking it out, swing those arms. Now at this time, if you do have some water close by, have a quick sip. Today I have lemon in my water. And adding different fruit makes it a little more exciting. All right, so walk it out, stretch it out. We're going to be moving into a few more squat variations next. All right. Very good. All right, so for the next one, we're going to take those legs really wide, nice and wide, wider than your shoulders. Feet are pointing out to the corners of the room, and we're going to bring those hands right in front. So let's squat, and then we're going to be rising up. All right, now I'm sure you've heard lift with your legs, not your back, right? So this is a good example of how you can lift if you have a heavy bag or something heavy in your arms and that you need to transport. Think about keeping your back straight, lifting. All right, so as we do this, let's reach down with your arms, and then we're going to reach to the side. Reach down, if you're grabbing something, lift up. Good, down, and reach to the side. Breathing in and breathing out. Now you'll notice, maybe you've noticed already, is that your inner thighs are working as well as we squat because we have those feet out. We have our legs wide. So we're targeting not only the tops of the legs, our quads, but also the inner thighs too. All right, good job. Let's do 4 more. Good, keep the weight in your heels. 3 and 2 and 1. All right, good, let's walk that out. Awesome job. Noticing how those legs are feeling. All right. Good, so the next exercise we're going to be doing is focusing on shoulder strength and on leg strength. I'll show you the first option. First option is using the chair for a sit to stand. So what you'll do is you'll sit right on the edge of your chair with your weights right in front of you. Position your feet below your knees. We're going to rise up and then press those arms up overhead. Bring the weights right in front of your shoulders and sit back down. So this is option 1, a great duo exercise for legs and arms. All right. Now option number 2 is instead of sitting down on the chair, take your legs wide again. We're going to move back into our squat and adding the press. All right, now those of you who are thinking, oh, the weight's a bit too much, you can also do this. Hold on to the weight, one weight, and press with both hands. Okay, so that's your other option if it's too much with both. All right, so let's continue sitting on the chair or squatting. I'm going to keep doing the chair. You choose your option. Remember to keep on breathing. All right, good. So there's all sorts of activities and things we need strong arms and shoulders for. One of them is if you're on the greens, bringing your supplies with you, bringing those golf clubs. Is your bag really heavy? Are you worried about pulling it? Or is that not even an option? So really, when we work towards a goal, when we think, okay, this is what I want to do, how am I going to get here? And it's important to really focus on movements and exercises that correspond with what you are planning to do. That's what leads to more strength. All right, woo, I'm warming up. Let's do 4 more here together. Looks good. All right, and 3. 2 more. And 1 more time. All right, nicely done. Okay, set those weights to the side. Feel free to have another sip of water. All right, excellent. So we're going to be moving to a few seated exercises next for the core. So feel free to have a seat. Now we will be using the weights a little bit as we go today, but I'll show you a few different options. So the first option, so we've done a little bit of twisting already. We want to focus a little bit more on twisting too. So what you'll do is you're going to be leaning all the way back against your chair. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start with one knee lift. So one at a time. And what we'll do is we're going to reach right across your knee with your opposite arm. All right, so opposite arm, one knee at a time. If you want to do both arms or both legs, I'd recommend holding on to the bottom of the chair and lifting those knees. So this is option number 2. All right. And then option number 3 is adding the arms. Arms are nice and wide, and tap those hands to the knees as you lift. All right, so choose your option. Option 1, reaching across your knee. You'll feel this in the core. Option number 2, holding on to the bottom of the chair. Or option 3, tapping. All right, so for this one, you can lean your back right against the chair. Feel this in the core. And it's really important to have a strong core. Having a strong core can really help you with all the twisting, lifting, leaning, and walking that you may be doing, connecting to those activities. Good. Whew. All right, 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's stretch that out. Let's place your hands here on your knees. Lean over, keep that back straight, looking down. All right, breathe in and breathe out. All right, awesome. Now for the next one, we're going to be doing a reverse sit-up. So for this one, you can grab a weight if you'd like to work a little harder. So I like to hold on to the weight like this, so it's wide. Sit on the edge of your chair. Now, if you don't want to use the weight, bring your arms across your chest like this. And what we'll do is we're going to be leaning back, reclining back, and then tightening our core to sit up straight. All right, so leaning back, you should feel your stomach tightening up as you go backwards. And let's breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in, don't touch. I know it's tempting. Now, a really good place to do this one is on your couch, because usually you have a little bit more space. So you go even further back. Or even better than that is sitting on the edge of your bed, because you've got nothing to touch behind you. You can really go far. All right. Good, so feeling that core working. Good, let's do 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. All right, excellent, excellent. Now keep that weight if you have it. We're going to be doing another one. Use the front this time. This one is called the Russian twist. We can bring your hands together as option 1 and twist side to side. Or you can choose to do it with the weight. All right, so with the weight, hold on securely. Take the weight from side to side, right towards your hip. Now, if you want to work a little bit harder, you can lean back. Again, we're not touching the back of the chair. Using your core. You have a bad back, or if you have osteoporosis, then I encourage you to sit up tall. And then the third option is to lift one knee so that you're engaging that core a little bit more. All right, good job. If you're lifting one foot up, let's switch legs. Good. Inhale, exhale. Again, this is a good one, helpful for all the twisting that you're going to be doing. All right, excellent. Let's do 4. 3, 2, and 1. Woo, all right, set that weight down. Good, we're gonna stretch that out, squeezing your shoulder blades back and bringing your hands and elbows in together. Breathing in and out. All right, excellent. All right, so we're going to stretch out our core. Let's walk those feet nice and wide. Now leave one hand here on your knee, and we're going to reach the other arm up and lean to the side. So you're stretching the side body muscles here. Really reach, like you're reaching for the corner of the ceiling. Breathing in and out. Now, if you have a bad shoulder on this side, you can keep your hand on the knee or bring it to the other side, but still add that side bend. All right, good. Let's bring the hand to your other knee, and we're going to lean to the other side. Reach. All right, so if you have some exciting goals, some exciting plans for the spring, and you're excited about golfing or gardening or both, I know there's some of you who do both, then I do recommend focusing on your health and fitness and starting to exercise. Do these movements every 2 days. So you can choose your favorite. You can do certain movements that you tend to be a little bit more weak in. If you have a bad back and you say, you know what, I've got to strengthen my back and my core, or maybe it's lifting that's an issue and you want to focus on those types of movements. But the more you focus on it now, the more you get into that routine, it'll be so much easier when that time comes around. All right, so let's do a few more stretches. We're going to take one arm right across your body, reaching for your shoulder. Place your hand by your elbow and push that arm right in. Stretching your triceps and stretching the shoulder. Now, if you do want to stand, feel free to stand, or you can stay seated. Up to you. Good, and focus on that breathing at the same time. All right, good. Let's lower the arm. We'll do the other side across. Reach for the opposite shoulder. Press the arm in. All right, good. All right, so from here, we're going to be moving into one of my favorite stretches for your hips. So if you have a hip or knee replacement, you can cross at your ankles and lean over, or lift the leg right across the knee and lean over here. And you should feel this go deep into that outer thigh and into the hip. All right, now while we're here, you can also circle this ankle, stretching it out. Okay. So often people don't talk about the importance of stretching, but if you're doing active movements during the day and you don't stretch, that's when you can become quite stiff and sore. Our muscles require stretching. And, I'd recommend taking 10-15 minutes at the end of your activity this spring and doing some of these seated or standing stretches that we're going to do together. All right, other side, leaning over, adding that ankle stretch, and adding the wrist stretch as well. Now, a tip for those of you with arthritis in your hands, I now have helped 2 women who've had really, really bad arthritis in their fingers develop more strength. And how they've done it is through one of those stress balls. You've probably seen them. You can get them anywhere at, Dollarama or a sporting goods store. They're small, they're a little bit firm, but not too firm. And what one of my clients is doing is every night when she watches TV, she holds on to it and she squeezes, and especially focuses on her one finger that has a lot of arthritis. And what she was finding is she was having a hard time gripping onto things, including her golf club, because her finger didn't have that strength or mobility. So thanks to the squeezy ball, she has noticed this has been two weeks. She's noticed a big difference. So for those of you who do have arthritis in your hands, you're thinking, oh, how am I going to do this or that this season? Try that out because it's pretty amazing. It's really worked well for 2 ladies who I know. All right, so let's stand up next. Now you can position your chair just to the side. We're going to stand behind the chair. We're going to take a big step back. And this is a really good stretch for the back of the legs. So bend into your front knee, keep that back leg straight, and we're going to be leaning in towards the chair. Now, if you're worried about your chair moving, press it right against the wall so you don't have to worry about it taking off. All right. So feel that back leg stretch. Good. If you want to focus on balance, you can add one arm or both arms in front. And then from here, we're going to be holding on and just leaning back slightly to stretch the hip flexors. This is the front part of that leg. And add one arm up to deepen the stretch. All right, I'm sure you can feel that one. It feels really good. We don't stretch our legs enough. All right, lower the hand, we'll step in and then step back with the opposite leg. So bending the front knee. Okay, leaning forwards first to stretch into the back hamstring, calf muscles. You can find the balance, reaching in front if you wish. All right, and then place your hands on the chair, lean back just a little bit. Notice that stretch in your hip flexor, reaching one arm up. All right, good. Let's bring that hand down. All right, we're gonna step in. Let's take some deep breaths. Bring those arms out, inhale, and then exhale, leaning over either for your knees or your feet. Reaching down and then coming back up again. Arms out to the side, inhale, and exhale, bending over. Good, again, coming on up, inhale, stretching the chest. Exhale, leaning to stretch your back. And let's do two more here. Good, finishing up. Notice how you're feeling. Awesome. And again, stretching. And hands to the knees. Let's lean over. All right, amazing. Give yourself a hug and pat on your back. Thanks everyone for joining. I hope that you feel really good. Now, before you leave, I'm going to talk to you very briefly about the 5-day fitness challenge for golfers and gardeners. And then I believe we should have some Q&A for the last few minutes. All right, so this is our second year of doing the 5-day fitness challenge for golfers and gardeners. And really the goal of this is to get you into the habit of moving, but doing specific movements that will help you improve your golf game and improve the ability and recovery time when you do your gardening. So I've put together 15-minute videos. They are fun. They're outdoors, so there's a fun background. My little dog Finley, who's snoozing, he's in them. And each one is going to be different. So when you sign up for the free challenge, it's all by email. So you'll get an email every single day. This is going to be the last week of April, and you'll get your workout first thing in the morning at 9 o'clock that you can do. You can either fit it in right first thing in the morning, or you can fit it in later on in the day. But the goal is to really help you improve your mobility, your strength, and help you to really get into your best shape for all those activities that you have planned. All right, so what I will do is I can share that sign up link with you guys in the follow-up email with the recording from today's class. And then of course you can always watch this recording as well, because it's important to get into the consistency and into the routine of exercising, especially if you've got that goal in mind, which is focusing on whatever spring activity you're excited about. All right, so any questions in the chat, Darlene?
So we had a number of people thank you for a great session today, and they're going to be practicing this as their part of their plan for golfing and gardening. We had a question with regards to where we can find the recording, which Antoine responded. So just a reminder that the recording will be posted on YouTube, and the link will be sent in our follow-up email later today for all of you participating. So question from Suzanne. So time efficient to do both lower and upper body exercises together? I guess it's more of a comment. Is there a ratio, Meg, that you recommend between upper body and lower body?
So what I'd recommend is usually when people are exercising, they start with their lower body. We like to start with our largest muscle groups first. So if you're doing things like squats and lunges, you can. If you want to do it separate, Now, my style is really doing both upper body and lower body because I know a lot of people don't have tons of time. You don't want to do a full hour workout all the time. So definitely for shorter workouts, I'd recommend doing what we did today, is doing your squats with the row. And as long as you are able to do both of them safely. So if you find that maybe you're focusing a little bit less on your legs, more on the arms, then it's just good to separate those exercises out. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of doing a little bit of both at the same time.
Okay, great. A lot of good comments. They very inspiring. Everyone enjoyed it, and commenting on how balanced the workout was. So that's great positive. I will make a pitch. I did Meg's 5-day challenge in early the new year, and it really inspired me to keep motivated and going on. It's very easy, and it's also you can do whenever. And so I encourage you, for those gardeners and golfers who want to take the 5-day challenge, to join Meg in her session. And so we have no other questions. So Meg, I want to thank you for today, for our session with our members. We very much appreciate having you on board on a regular basis. I also want to thank Antoine and Aaron, who help support the association with providing you these webinars. I want to encourage you to fill out the survey that we'll be sending via email as a follow-up to this, with the information on the recordings, because that data will help us to help focus our activities on what you, the membership, is looking for. So if you want more of these, please let us know, because we can make those things happen. I also want to invite members to our session in April. We will have a session with Meg for sure. For May, but we also want you to be aware of our session on April 20th with regards to organ donations and the second chances at life. And so if you don't have it on your schedule, maybe something of interest. Again, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup pour votre participation, et à la prochaine. Au revoir.